Imagine a place where the streets are so clean you could walk barefoot without a worry, where the air is so pure that every breath feels like a gift to your lungs. There are countries where cleanliness isn't just a habit, it's a way of life. But how do they achieve it? Is it the result of strict government policies or a culture deeply rooted in respect for the environment? Today, we'll explore the 10 cleanest countries in the world, uncovering the secrets behind their impeccable tidiness. Plus, halfway through the video, we'll reveal the dirtiest country in the world. With that said, let's get started. Number 10. Denmark. Denmark is renowned worldwide for its serene lifestyle and often tops happiness rankings. Its colorful houses lining the canals and cozy atmosphere feel like something out of a fairy tale. But behind this almost perfect picture lies a formidable commitment to cleanliness. Danish society has fostered a culture of community collaboration for decades, rooted in ancestral values. From childhood, children learn in school the importance of keeping public spaces clean. This collective awareness is reinforced by a government system that rewards recycling and sustainability. Denmark stands out for its waste-to-energy plants, a clear example of how they turn trash into electricity, reducing reliance on fossil fuels. The effect is evident. Streets free of cigarette butts and litter, well-placed bins, and clear waste separation in every household. In Copenhagen, the capital, you'll see crystal-clear canals, a widely used bicycle network, and green spaces where time seems to stand still. This order comes at a cost. The government invests heavily in waste infrastructure, and tax rates can be high compared to other countries. However, most Danes believe the benefits far outweigh the costs. Why is it so clean? Beyond the laws, the key lies in their participatory culture. During events or festivals, attendees actively participate in post-event cleanup. The sense of collective belonging is so strong that people don't see cleaning as an imposed task, but as part of their national pride. The results include greater environmental awareness, low air pollution in cities, and a sense of peace that many tourists experience while strolling its streets. Denmark, in its push to combat climate change, has shown that cleanliness can be a cornerstone of public health and citizen happiness. Number 9. Switzerland. Jumping from Denmark to Switzerland is like moving from one fairy tale to another. Known for its precision watches, exquisite chocolates, and alpine landscapes, Switzerland dazzles not only with its financial order but also with the cleanliness of its cities and towns. Walking through Zurich or Geneva, you'll notice the absence of litter or stray papers and a harmony in the architecture that extends to perfectly maintained sidewalks. Swiss society operates under a federal system where cantons have significant autonomy. This proximity of local governance to the people allows for highly specific and tailored cleanliness regulations. For example, several cantons have special waste fees, encouraging waste separation and reducing the amount of garbage produced. Switzerland has also been a pioneer in recycling technologies and promoting composting. Many households have their own source separation systems for glass, plastic, paper, and organic waste. The awareness that everyone is responsible for their environment is deeply ingrained and part of the national identity. The reason for such cleanliness is tied to the need to protect its natural surroundings. Surrounded by breathtaking mountains, lakes, and rivers, the country understands that tourism and quality of life depend heavily on preserving this heritage. However, this comes with costs. Switzerland's high standard of living means significant taxes and public maintenance expenses, and not everyone always agrees with increasing them. Still, most recognize that this investment in cleanliness and sustainability contributes to Switzerland's image as one of the world's most prosperous and safe places. That prestige isn't achieved overnight. It's the result of a tradition of discipline, pragmatism, and respect for the environment. Number 8. Austria. Anyone who has traveled to Austria will recall its dreamy landscapes with mountains that seem hand-painted, quaint villages where time flows slowly, and cities with a meticulously maintained imperial air. Vienna, the capital, is known for its palaces, classical music, and of course its cleanliness. Austria's fame comes not only from its cultural heritage, but also from its strong commitment to civic responsibility. The Austrian government invests significant resources in waste management programs and environmental education. From an early age, children learn civic responsibility values. Walking through Austrian streets evokes a sense of harmony, as if the environment were arranged so nothing feels out of place. Authorities also enforce a system of fines and penalties for those who litter or dirty public spaces, applied without exception, demonstrating the seriousness of the matter. Additionally, the public transportation infrastructure is in impeccable condition, encouraging people to leave their cars at home, reducing emissions and urban clutter. The reason for Austria's cleanliness lies in a mindset of care. Austrians tend to see tidiness as an essential part of their identity, reinforced by the pride they feel for their history and culture. This blend of tradition and modernity fuels the desire to preserve the aesthetics of their cities and protect natural spaces with great devotion. The most notable outcome is a balance between tourism, economic activity, and daily life. Each year, millions of visitors are drawn by the beauty of the architecture, but also by the sense of peace that comes from a place where litter is virtually non-existent. This translates into significant revenue and a population that enjoys high standards of health and well-being. Number 7. Norway. When thinking of Norway, majestic fjords, northern lights, and a social system prioritizing equality and citizen welfare come to mind. However, one of the most remarkable aspects of this nation is the cleanliness of its streets and urban environments. What's fascinating is the deep connection Norwegian society has forged with nature. National pride is tied to living in harmony with the environment. Many government and daily life decisions are based on the need to protect the ecosystem. As a result, waste management is highly effective, with very high recycling rates. There are even systems like the Pant Bottle Return Program that reward people for returning plastic bottles to stores. Norway also excels in renewable energy production, particularly hydroelectric, which reduces overall pollution and results in cities with cleaner air. The local culture promotes waste reduction, and it's common for people to plan their purchases and waste to avoid excess. Perhaps the most significant reason for its cleanliness is the strong bond between government and society. Environmental protection policies enjoy massive public support, and authorities often heed the recommendations of experts and organizations. This collaborative spirit has yielded remarkable results, not only in the appearance of public spaces but also in the perception of well-being. Maintaining such order and sustainable development requires substantial investments. Thanks to its oil and gas reserves, Norway has been able to fund many environmental programs. However, they've done so with the vision that these resources are finite, adopting an approach that balances present responsibility with future planning. Number 6. Sweden. When people talk about Sweden, they often think of a society pioneering social rights, technology, and environmental respect. The cleanliness of its cities is largely a result of this progressive mindset. Stockholm, the capital, is crisscrossed by canals and surrounded by forests, an impressive blend of nature and architecture. Why are Swedes so clean? First, the population is highly aware of sustainable development issues. Recycling is almost a moral and practical obligation. Most households have multiple bins for sorting waste, and incentives are offered to reduce single-use packaging. Another key factor is government policies that have invested in cutting-edge waste treatment infrastructure. Sweden has incineration plants that convert waste into energy, significantly reducing the need for landfills while supplying heat to entire districts. The outcomes of this model are highly positive. Air quality in many Swedish cities is exceptionally good, and people enjoy well-maintained green spaces where litter or misplaced graffiti is rare. The idea is that everyone does their part and, in return, enjoys a healthier living environment. That said, it's not all perfect. The cost of living and taxes in Sweden tend to be high, so maintaining this level of cleanliness and social welfare involves significant economic commitments. Still, most consider it a fair price for a clean, safe, and dynamic environment. Number 5. Germany. Germany is recognized for its industrial precision, cultural influence, and complex history. However, another notable feature is the high standard of cleanliness in its cities and towns. Walking through Munich, Frankfurt, or Berlin, the tidiness and organization are evident. This cleanliness is partly explained by the sense of discipline and collective responsibility that characterizes the German population. But it's also supported by a robust legal framework that imposes penalties for littering or improper waste management. Any German who takes pride in their identity considers it a civic duty to keep their surroundings in top condition, and authorities reinforce this behavior with efficient infrastructure. Another key pillar is environmental education. From an early age, children participate in recycling and environmental protection activities, internalizing the importance of not littering and sorting waste into the correct bins. This awareness extends to public transportation use, as Germany has one of the world's most advanced train and bus systems, reducing car use and, consequently, polluting emissions. The deeper reason for such cleanliness is tied to a culture of quality. Just as high standards are demanded in vehicle or machinery production, this rigor carries over to daily life, where tidiness is a marker of efficiency. The costs of this system are borne by both the government and society, through taxes or active participation in collection and recycling programs. The result is a pleasant urban environment where people can enjoy pristine parks and clean streets without fear of accumulated trash. This also boosts tourism, attracts professionals worldwide, and strengthens Germany's image as a serious and orderly country. Midpoint announcement. We've reached the halfway point of the video, and as promised, it's time to reveal the dirtiest country in the world. According to various environmental studies, Bangladesh is often cited as the dirtiest country due to its alarming air and water pollution and ineffective waste management. The causes are manifold: uncontrolled industrial growth, inadequate infrastructure, and a lack of strict waste regulations. The consequences are devastating, with high rates of respiratory diseases, contaminated drinking water, and a negative impact on biodiversity. The solution requires strong environmental policies, citizen education, and international cooperation to address this critical issue. Number 4. Luxembourg. Luxembourg is one of Europe's smallest countries, but stands out as a major financial hub with a high standard of living. Beyond its skyscrapers and banking headquarters, the near-impeccable cleanliness of its avenues, parks, and residential neighborhoods is striking. Being a small territory partly facilitates waste management and urban service oversight. However, the reason for its cleanliness goes far beyond size. Luxembourg has invested in highly efficient waste collection systems and a public transportation network that operates with precision. The goal is to minimize private vehicle use while reducing the carbon footprint. The Luxembourgish government understands that its economy relies heavily on the stability and solid image it projects to the world. A clean and organized city not only attracts foreign investment, but also increases resident satisfaction. This translates into strict policies to keep public spaces in pristine condition. Additionally, the local population generally has high income and education levels, reflected in exemplary civic behavior, where most citizens avoid littering and participate in volunteer cleanup activities in green areas. Some critics point out that sustaining this model involves high taxes and living costs. However, Luxembourg seems to have a relatively stable balance, where the government uses part of its revenue to improve infrastructure and maintain a spotless environment. The result is a small but great country that shines for its cleanliness and prosperity. Number 3. Estonia. Estonia has undergone a remarkable transformation since gaining independence from the Soviet Union. It has established itself as one of the world's most digital nations, with e-governance and a booming tech sector. But what many don't know is that it also stands out for its exemplary cleanliness, thanks in part to a deeply rooted civic consciousness. The Estonian population has undertaken national reforestation and cleanup initiatives that have garnered international attention. One of the most notable movements is Let's Do It, which originated in Estonia and spread to dozens of countries. The core idea is to gather volunteers to clean up piles of trash in rural and urban areas, fostering a sense of shared responsibility and belonging. Another reason for Estonia's success lies in technology. The government uses digital platforms to monitor waste management and enforce penalties for environmental regulation violations. Recycling is incentivized through tax benefits and easy access to sorting bins. The outcomes of these measures are tangible: high air and water quality, which boosts nature tourism and improves public health. Achieving such a standard of cleanliness requires constant effort and societal commitment, with Estonians viewing sustainability as a path to consolidating their economic and cultural independence. Estonia's future looks promising if it maintains this green approach. Thanks to its entrepreneurial spirit and determination, this Baltic nation stands as a model of how the right mix of citizen participation and innovative policies can create a nearly impeccable environment. Number 2. Iceland. Iceland is a country that has always captivated the imagination of its visitors. Its volcanoes, geysers, glaciers, and almost otherworldly landscapes evoke a constant sense of awe. But what's most impressive about this Nordic island is the purity of its environment, reflected not only in its natural sights but also in the cleanliness of its towns and cities. Though Iceland has a small population, this doesn't diminish its dedication to tidiness. Icelanders have balanced the use of their geothermal resources with environmental protection. Renewable energy powers most homes, industries, and services, reducing air pollution and ecological impact. This model stems from a deeply ingrained social consciousness. Responsible tourism is promoted, with visitors encouraged to respect nature and take all their waste with them. Authorities also maintain strict control over protected areas, severely penalizing any actions that compromise the landscape's purity. The reason for this level of cleanliness is tied to national pride in Iceland's uniqueness. The population understands that the natural phenomena occurring there, volcanic eruptions, the beauty of the midnight sun, are treasures that must be safeguarded. Without this care, tourism would decline, and with it, the country's economic vitality. Maintaining these standards requires significant financial effort and a robust recycling infrastructure. Nevertheless, the result is a country that inspires, with immaculate streets and air so fresh that many tourists say a single breath reconnects them with nature in its purest form. Number 1. Finland. Finally, we arrive at Finland, the jewel of the North that year after year leads rankings for quality of life and education. Despite its cold climate and long winters, Finland radiates human warmth through its civic spirit and, above all, its impeccable cleanliness. The country has become a global benchmark for how harmony with nature and social organization can create a nearly perfect environment. Why is Finland so clean? Part of the answer lies in its education system, considered one of the world's best. Children learn from a young age about recycling, sustainability, and caring for shared spaces. This foundation is complemented by a government that designs advanced waste management policies, including high taxes on non-recyclable products to discourage their use. Equally crucial is the relationship Finns have with their forests and lakes. This intimate connection with nature drives them to protect it with compassion, ensuring that both rural areas and urban centers maintain admirable cleanliness. Walking through Helsinki, it's nearly impossible to find litter or signs of trash. Citizens and tourists have access to clear signage and bins for waste disposal. The outcomes of this commitment include outstanding air quality and an environment that promotes mental health. People living in clean spaces experience lower stress and greater satisfaction. However, none of this would be possible without ongoing government support, which funds awareness campaigns and maintains cleanup crews for emergencies like large events or harsh weather. Does it come at a high cost to the population? Absolutely. Taxes in Finland are among Europe's highest, but most consider it a fair trade for a unique way of life in terms of well-being and order. Ultimately, Finland's cleanliness is a manifestation of the nation's spirit, a place where people come together, work, and share the conviction that a clean society is synonymous with a promising future. Thank you for joining me on this journey as we've uncovered the secrets behind the cleanliness of 10 exemplary countries. If you enjoyed this analysis and want to discover more content like this, I invite you to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. That way, you can keep exploring other surprising stories and facts about our world. Until next time.